Talking with Tasha, episode 63 of Talking with Tasha. All right, welcome back to another episode of Talking with Tasha. Thank you so much for coming back and listening and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the last episode, Lost Cast Walkabout. More of those will be coming, but today I have a guest that is not going to talk about Lost. Before we get to the guest, let's talk a little bit about what I've been watching. I finished You on Netflix, and I gotta say, it was one of those things where I know you kind of jumped the shark. How long can this guy really get away with murdering people and not get caught and all these kind of things? But I'm like really sad it's over. It was one of those shows I really looked forward to. I don't know what that says about me, but I thought the way they ended it was actually very... what's the word? Like kind of meta, like flipping the script on the audience watching. Plus that show had a lot of controversy for glamorizing this murderous guy. So I thought it was an interesting way to end it. The lead actress in the newest season, I'm blanking on her real name, but she also plays Janine in Handmaid's Tale. So that was a little hard for me to get used to. Because I'm used to her wearing an eye patch and stuff. Speaking of which, Handmaid's Tale this season, I just watched the latest episode yesterday, and I was really expecting a little bit more to happen at this wedding, but we'll see. Again, if you're not watching Handmaid's Tale, basically the handmaids are rising up. They're going to kill all the commanders. And I don't know why I watch so many things with murder in it, but in Handmaid's Tale, in that scenario, those commanders kind of deserve it. I don't feel so bad about that. But anyway, those two were weirdly tied together in my brain because of that actress. And then on the reality TV side of things, I am loving this season of The Amazing Race, except Jonathan is the worst. I really hope Anna has divorced him since the show. I know she hasn't. I've seen her Instagram. And she's even put out some things lately saying like they were edited poorly, but I was like, girl, stop making excuses for this toxic man. Like, he is not nice to you. And yeah. And someone asked me the other day, like, who do you want to win? I was like, anybody but Jonathan. I mean, I like Anna, but anybody but Jonathan. That's all I'm saying. Anybody but Jonathan. If you're watching, you know what I mean. I used to think I would like to be on that show when I was younger. And then I got older and I was like, that actually looks like my worst nightmare. Getting on a plane and not knowing where I'm going and having to pack everything in one bag. I am terrible at that. I overpack everything. It seems like there's a lot of running involved. I mean, I like to travel, but they don't get to really see the sights or anything. So I don't know. But I suppose part of doing that show is you could win more trips and then get to do the sightseeing. But you have to win. So there you go. I just finished listening to a book. I don't know what the series is exact. Is it called the Empyrean series? Well, the first book is Fourth Wing. I've just been calling it the Fourth Wing series. It was picked for my book club, and someone told me that there is a graphic audio version of it, so I listened to that, and that was really cool. Each character has a different actor. There's background noises and sound effects, and it was really cool. It's like an old-timey radio play, so I don't know. I don't think there's a ton of graphic audio out there that I'm aware of, but look for that if you're into that sort of thing. It's kind of cool. And I know people that are into Fourth Wing are like super into Fourth Wing. Like, it has a whole fandom. And I enjoyed the book. Nothing in it really super surprised me though, because to me it reminded me a lot of, it's kind of like Hunger Games and Divergent mixed into one, a dash of Harry Potter kind of stuff. I don't know. It had elements of all of those things. So nothing totally caught me off guard, but there was a couple real steamy scenes, and listening to that on graphic audio was a little awkward. I'm not a prude by any means, but I just can't imagine being those voice actors and having to it was interesting to listen to. And I was sorting laundry when that part came up in one of the books, and I was listening to it on my Bluetooth speaker, so it was kind of loud in my whole apartment. And I was like, if the neighbors are hearing this, they are probably like, what is this girl into? But you know what? Violet and Zayden just had to get things. They had needs, okay? Spoiler alert if you didn't know they get together. But I mean, it was obvious. Enemies to lovers is one of the biggest tropes there is. Anyway, let's get into the episode. Today, I'm talking with Dr. Payton. She is a chiropractor here in town. She owns her own business, Resilience Chiropractic. And I gotta say, I'm not like a full-on skeptic of chiropractors, but I have not had the best experience with chiropractors. So I liked talking to her, getting a different perspective. That's part of what this podcast is about. You know, we're open-minded here on Talkin with Tasha. Enjoy this conversation with Dr. Payton Birkel on Talkin with Tasha. Dr. Payton Birkel, let's start from the start. Where are you from originally? Are you from the Sioux Falls area, or let's go back? Take us back.
All right. Back to childhood about 5 years ago, right? No. Originally from O'Neill, Nebraska, small town, like 2,000 to 3,000 people, and ended up going to St. Louis, Missouri for schooling. And that's a wild story in and of itself as to why I ended up there, because somewhere like over in Iowa or Kansas City would have been a lot closer, but ended up touring over there. And biggest reason I went was because the grass was green. And then my last year in schooling ended up kind of deciding I wanted to be in South Dakota. I would say for the chiropractic realm in and of itself, it's amazing here in South Dakota as far as what you can do. And hee-hawing between Sioux Falls and Rapid City, and then my parents ended up moving over to Mitchell, and it was kind of like a no-brainer to move to Sioux Falls.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I vaguely know where O'Neill. I'm originally from Sioux City, Iowa, so O'Neill's not so far. You know, like we're right, kind of.
Yeah, it's 2 hours straight west.
Yeah. So, and you are a chiropractor. So, did you always know you wanted to do chiropractic stuff, or growing up, what was the dream? You know, because a lot of us grow up thinking, I'm going to be an astronaut.
Yes.
Like how did that happen?
Originally, I wanted to be a vet, and then learned, oh, you have to put pets down sometimes. And I was like mortified at this, like wide-eyed, like, you're joking, right? And so always had that little ambition to help and help treat. And so then dove into a little bit of physical therapy or job shadowed that a few times, and then ended up, I think my mom at the time was going to a chiropractor. I had an injury from high school basketball freshman year, and she was like, hey, you should go see the chiropractor. And I was, what does a chiropractor know about a foot, an ankle injury? And she was like, just give it a shot. And so ended up going in there, and I asked a few more questions. He knew a lot more about the body than what I anticipated. So then he invited me back in to ask even more questions about the field and everything. And from there, kind of took off. Ended up working underneath him throughout high school and undergrad, and fast tracked my way into schooling essentially. So
there you go. But chiropractors do sometimes get a bad rap, or people, you know, say like they don't believe in it. And I gotta say, I've only been to a chiropractor once, and it didn't go well.
You're not the only one.
But so what do you think is the biggest misconception, or what do you say to people that are skeptical?
First thing I say is, I promise I'm not a voodoo doc, like I swear. But the cool thing about chiropractic is there are so many different realms that you can go into within the field, like kind of like your MDs, like you could go into specializing in one place. We don't have specific schooling for that. It's kind of all just that general MD type of schooling, but we're able to kind of differentiate and branch out just a little bit on our own time. And so just with the whole fact that there can be some bad experiences, I wouldn't say it goes for the whole profession. There are going to be some few ones where they're stuck in the weeds a little bit, and you're kind of like, okay, let's dig you out. But they've seen success somehow, some way. And so by all means, that is awesome for them. just not everyone responds to that specific practice, if that makes sense.
Yeah, kind of. I guess I even see some dentist office doing this too. Like my whole thing is stay in your lane, because sometimes you'll see chiropractors or something doing Botox or like some of these other things, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that, okay. Again, like back to that whole, you can do a lot of different things with chiropractic. And so there's some things I see and I'm like, I would have never pieced those two together.
Yeah.
I think in my shoes, like adding in a lot of the physical therapy side of things, rehab and strength training has been enough to take a small step outside of it, but it's not one to shock people by any means. So I think acknowledging just where some common boundaries are for people to understand.
When I went to a chiropractor's because I was having really bad neck pain, like I couldn't turn my neck, and I had been to the ER a bunch. No one could figure out what was wrong with me. I started going to a chiropractor. I liked the massage part of it. You know, there was some of that, but after that first time that she just cracked my, like I would be tense. Like I didn't like it. And part of the reason I had a problem after that was, come to find out, the reason my neck hurt was because my spinal fluid was building up, and no chiropractic care was going to fix that.
No.
And I get that I had been to a bunch of doctors that's, well, try this. And I get that. But that chiropractor just seemed so sure that they could fix it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. So that's just like my experience. But again, I was in that mode where a lot of doctors didn't know what was wrong with me. So it's not just the chiropractor's fault.
Yeah.
But you know, and I know a lot of chiropractors now, they use the little, I don't know.
Oh, activator.
Yeah,
the clicker.
The clicker thing. Like you gotta, I get way too tense. I couldn't do it. I just relax. I'm like, I can't, you're gonna do the thing and I don't like it. So I don't know. And I guess like you say, you do a lot more of physical therapy kind of stuff. So did you lean into that because of your sports background, or is that just what you liked better? Or what do you see the most of, I guess?
Actually, I'm going to take a step back and go back to your neck story and say, okay, if the chiropractor doesn't ask first if you're comfortable with it, I would leave. Honestly, like it's all about your comfort level. Like,
Right.
They may say, if you're comfortable with it, they may say, oh, this might hurt just a little bit, but as long as you're A-okay with it, good deal. But what was the question again?
Because you do more of the sort of physical therapy kind of stuff. Was that because of your sports background, or why'd you lean into that part a little more?
No, actually, I'm not gonna lie. I went into chiropractic for the whole voodoo thing, and I thought my hands could heal everyone. Like, truth be told, I went in that first day, and I was like, I'm gonna become this goddess. What? No, and then I actually ended up finding some friends a few months later. It would be our second trimester, and they were really heavy into a lot of these extra clubs, different seminars that you can go to. And they introduced me more on the sports side of things. And if it weren't for them, I would not have gotten there on my own. I can tell you that.
What's your favorite part of being a chiropractor?
Ooh, being able to, like, everyone says, so you're gonna just crack my bones, like snap, crackle, pop, like Rice Krispies. And I can be like, yes, and XYZ. Just, yeah, there's so much freedom within it, which can be a good thing and a bad thing, depending on who you ask. Overall knowledge of the human body, I would say there's so much extensive knowledge that we get taught, and sometimes it gets thrown out of the window and not utilized, but being able to approach the whole person rather than just one little bone out of place.
What's your least favorite part of being a chiropractor?
You want me to be very honest?
Yes, please.
Student loans. Honestly, they suck.
Well, okay, let's get into that a little bit, because I don't exactly know what schooling is. What does it take to become a chiropractor? I mean, we all kind of see like Grey's Anatomy for doctors. We know there's like residency, all these levels, blah, 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 7 years or whatever it is. What is how does becoming a chiropractor work? I guess I don't really know. Is it the same or different? Or
Oh, no, it's actually pretty different. Condensed schooling for sure. So, requirements to get in, I think, if I remember correctly, so I only did 2 years of undergrad because I was like, I need to take these bare minimum classes just to get in. So I ended up taking that. I mean, we had some people that came in with vastly different backgrounds from like architect to interior design, like different things like that. And with that, you're able to finish your undergrad courses while taking the grad courses too, which is extremely helpful. And then go through first year, which is 3 trimesters, essentially just hitting a lot of the books. And then second year is all the applied sciences, so taking everything that you learned into the books and actually applying it to real life things theoretically. And then that third year is where you get more of that patient interaction and actually applying everything you've learned the first 2 years. And it starts it within the campus itself, kind of in a controlled environment. And then towards the end of schooling, then you're able to go off and do what's called like a preceptorship or what would be internship, residency, something like that. And so in total, it's about 3 1/3 years because it's 10 trimesters,
okay.
at least at Logan. There are different schools that go by quarters, semesters.
Well, I didn't
It's a
go.
pain in the butt. Sorry. It's a pain in the butt regardless.
When I was going to say, I'm still paying my student loans, and I was just a communications major.
Yeah,
It never ends, it feels like. But yeah.
no. And I can't even imagine going through university without any scholarships there and then going into this graduate program. And I mean, if you don't play your cards right, you may not be paying those loans off for a hot minute.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. I mean, the price of college could be a whole other podcast topic.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be, honestly.
And I was looking at your website, you talk about, and we should say your business is Resilience Chiropractic, right? Is that the full name?
Yes.
Okay.
Resilience chiropractic and rehab. Can't forget the rehab.
Okay. Because yeah, you do a lot more of the rehabilitation, physical therapy, and I saw on your website that you do dry needling. I hear that term a lot. What is it? I don't know what it is. Like what?
Okay. Do you know what acupuncture is?
Yes.
Okay, so kind of the same in the sense that you stick a needle into someone, right? So,
Okay.
so acupuncture takes on the traditional Chinese medicine approach in energy flows of the body, also called meridians, and taking more whole body symptoms and applying all of that background into where you'll put the needles in. Where dry needling, first and foremost, dry needling is called what it is because there's a wet needling, which is just an injection.
Okay.
So dry needling, there's no injection.
Gotcha.
It's just a needle being inserted into a muscle that is tight, achy, sore. Trigger points is a word that gets tossed around quite a bit. Just a tight nodule. It can lead to actually like a good example is sometimes you'll have a trigger point that will act like shin splints or something. So just being able to kind of get more precise with what you're targeting.
So then when the needle gets injected, or not injected, when there's no injection, when the needle gets inserted.
I hope not.
Is it releasing a toxin or is it like, what exactly is it doing?
The best way that I like to explain it is, okay, let's say you break your nose. You go into the doctor and sometimes they say, oh, we have to re-break your nose to put it in right?
Yeah.
And so with this dry needling, I'm kind of irritating the muscle enough, and then I can go in with the adjustment, and then we can back it up with some exercises or movements to help control that range of motion that it has now and stabilize it just a little bit more. Does that make sense?
Kinda. I mean, that the re-breaking thing did make sense. Like you go in there and kind of like make it worse to make it better, kind of.
Yes, exactly. So do what your doctor says afterwards for exercises because it's going to help make things 10 times easier.
Do you do any of, like I said, at the chiropractor I did go to, they had a massage person. Do you do any massage type stuff or not really?
I'll do a little bit of muscle work, but I will say I have a few different massage therapists in my tool belt that I'll refer out to, just depending on what the patient is kind of looking for. I have
Mm-hmm.
someone that can get real nitty gritty and dirty with things. I have another one who's a little bit softer. I have one who's more focused on the emotional side of things.
Mm. You know, we were talking about how people are skeptical of chiropractors, or a lot of people have had a bad experience with one. So, what is your philosophy and approach to chiropractic care then? What kind of makes you different?
Ooh, this is a really good one. Trying to find the right words. I would say diagnosing is what the true differentiator is. The childlike curiosity, the why question. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? And actually getting back to that foundational thing. I think an adjustment is a good synergist to what we can do outside of just that adjustment as well. If I get asked the question, why are you doing rehab? Like, why not leave it to the PTs? One, I just haven't built my practice up to that yet. Two, it's extremely fun. And three, the adjustment is going to input some really good feel good chemicals and increase that proprioception, so the awareness around you. But if your body isn't comfortable with that and it's not used to it, it's going to tighten everything back up. So we have to be able to reintroduce the exercises, the movements, so your body is, oh, I understand how to use this space, this range of motion that we have now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that. And I think I know what you mean. Like some people would be like, oh, a physical therapist would be better at that, or oh, this or that. But it is kind of nice to have a one stop shop. Like if you're doing the adjustment,
Mm-hmm.
also helping me do the exercise and get my form right. There's something
Oh
to be
my
said
gosh.
for having it all in one place.
Yes. Save you money so you can pay off those student loans.
When you're meeting new people and you say, I'm a chiropractor, do a lot of people say, oh, I have this thing here? Does that happen a lot?
I cannot tell you, if I didn't say I was a chiropractor, I don't think I would have half the amount of people that I have now as patients. It's just me going up and being like, and they're like, oh yeah, I guess I do have this ache. Like I should reach out to you sometime. Oh my goodness, how long has this been going on? Oh, about 20 years. And I'm like, oh my. Which is kind of cool too. Just being new to the area and not really having, not being very well known. Yeah, I feel like I'm a last resort for a lot of people. And so they're constantly looking for something new, something different to help them. And it gets to be a little fun, technical, creative in trying to figure out, okay, what has everyone else done for you? What can I do differently? Let's try this. Okay. And start ruling things out there. That's where I would say it really gets fun in the office.
What is the most common issue that you see?
For sure, hips and low back.
I was just gonna say because like my lower back pretty much hurts all the time, but I think part of it is because I have really tight hamstrings, and I know those things are like connected, right? So,
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, have a learning moment for
okay,
you.
let's do it. Hit me.
Unless you want to do this right now, you can lay on your back on the floor and lift one leg up at a time, and you'll kind of feel your hamstring tight just a little bit. Now, I want you to brace your core and really lock down. The best way to do this is to purse your lips and go,
Oh,
and
okay.
that is your core engaging. With that, then I want you to lift one leg at a time. And if your hamstring feels a little less tight or you're able to get your leg up just a little bit more, then it's actually a core thing and not hamstring tightness.
Mm.
So the hamstrings are trying to compensate for the core to keep you upright in posture. Does that make sense?
Yes, it could be that.
Okay.
but I
So,
but even when I do the, the stretch where you just bend over, I
yeah,
feel everything pull on the back of my leg. I think it's
that,
probably a little of both. So I don't know.
yeah, there's a little bit of a movement thing, but also a center of balance, which comes from your core.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely could work on the core. I used to do a lot more Pilates and stuff like that, which helped that. But it was also just like boring. Like the slow classes are hard for me. I'd much rather do a kickboxing class or something like that than like a stretching class, even though I know stretching is good for you, especially as I'm getting older. But yeah.
I would say mobility over stretching. There is a difference.
Yeah. Okay. I get that. I get that. Also on your website, you talk about like a free first consultation. What happens at that first appointment? What can people expect?
So with the first free consultation, we'll run through your history real quick. I have been told I have the most extensive intake form, but with all of that, I'm able to come in and be like, okay, they've tried this, we can add this into what we should consider, everything like that, rather than just going in with a blind's eye. Get at least some point of direction, and then we will run through what you should probably be doing at any other chiropractic office is general range of motion, testing, making sure all the nerves are firing properly, kind of like a CYA thing in a sense. And then we'll get into regional things. So, shoulders and hips, those two play a huge role into neck pain and low back pain. And then we'll get into a movement assessment that is a standardized 7 movement screen. And from there, I can kind of see how different tissues are interplaying. And then I'll finally go in and say my bias by putting my hands on you, kind of feeling, okay, is this not moving quite as well in this joint area? And be able to be like, oh, okay, then maybe that's why that movement there isn't quite optimal, or vice versa. I mean, what came first, chicken or the egg? But at the end of the day, we're just trying to see, okay, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, choosing 2 audits, painful audit and a functional audit. So your painful audit is the movement, the thing that we did in office. I don't care what it was, but whatever hurt. And that's what we're just trying to get to, kind of go away per se in the first couple visits. And then we're resorting to that functional audit that we got from the movement assessment. And we're trying to change that throughout this whole treatment plan, because if function doesn't improve, pain will not go away, right? It'll just kind of linger with you. But if we can fix that function, then we know pain's going to stay away. And so with that, with those 2 audits, we're going to go through exercises, test and retest. We're going to try out a movement. Hey, is this making it feel better? No. Okay. On to the next one. We're going to try this. No. Okay. And then we're going to keep doing that. Typically, it doesn't take more than 2 to 3, maybe if it's a really tough one, to find at least some sort of exercise, movement, mobility to improve the pain. And so we're trying to get rid of that pain so that then we can really hone in on the function, because sometimes with the pain you may compensate, and so we're not able to truly change the function. And then with that, send you on your way. I record the videos of any exercise I do in office, send it to you. You should have no excuse as to why you don't know how to do it. And bingo.
Gotcha. And so are you, because your goal is not to necessarily have them keep coming back, but give them the tools to never see you again, hopefully.
Yeah. I like to say, I don't want you to keep coming back to see me for the same exact thing, but also life happens at the same point. So as much as I'd be like, yeah, I never want to see you again in my life, crap hits the fan, and sometimes you just do something out of whack or whatever, and you may have to come in and see me again. Like,
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard some debate over going to a chiropractor. Like some people are like, oh, they didn't even do an x-ray. They just started aligning. Or should chiropractors do x-rays, or what? I've heard that's kind of a debate. Because sometimes it's, oh, they just wanted to do an x-ray to charge more money. Or like sometimes it's, but shouldn't they kind of see what, I don't know. What say you about x-rays?
I like to say you're constantly moving throughout the day, and an x-ray only shows one position at one certain moment. And so that doesn't really give you a clear picture onto how your body's actually moving through things. If you, I don't know, turn your leg a weird way and that's what aggravates it, but the x-rays of you standing straight up, that doesn't really show me what's actually going on. So
Yeah.
that's my humble opinion on them.
Yeah. And
There's
you,
a time and a place.
yeah. And you have your own, it's just you own this place. Like you are,
Hmm.
are the sole doctor at Resilience Chiropractic and Rehab, Chiropractic and Rehab. Messing up the name.
No, you're good. It's a mouthful.
Did you always want to start your own practice, or did you ever think about joining a practice, or how did that
Ooh,
come
yeah.
about where you were like, I'm going to do it myself?
I going into schooling, okay, so the Cairo that I was working for, he started his own practice right out of the gates. And I'm not gonna lie, I went in thinking if this man can do it, I can do it. And so always kind of wanted to start my own. I considered being an associate for someone working underneath them, but there wasn't really anyone here in Sioux Falls where I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's exactly how I would want to practice." And so ended up starting at my and I mean, the same problems now are going to be the same problems 20 years down the road when it comes to like, a business side of things. And I mean, might as well save myself 20 years and just start it now. It's been a journey
Yeah, yeah.
to say the least.
Because you're just coming up on a year, right?
Yeah, June will be 1 year. Yeah, crazy, crazy.
I think on your website it mentions you do some nutrition coaching and stuff too, right? Is that
Yeah.
how does that work, or how does that how I mean, I know nutrition is part of health in general, but when people think chiropractor, they don't always think like nutrition help. So why that, or how does that work in?
So the nutrition, the running, and the fitness coaching are all, I would like to say, passion projects. I, I've just always loved that realm, and especially with going through a lot of the fitness journeys that I've gone on, I think I've tried just about anything and everything. And rather, this is probably contradictory to popular belief, I don't give diet plans per se. It's more of, hey, let's understand how you think about this and how your body processes this, and then you can make it your own. And I tie I tie a lot of more faith-filled things into the nutrition planning. So it adds a little bit of a unique aspect there and how to really include God into how you perceive your body.
Hmm. Yeah, I do think body image, body positivity, there is something to be said about like, just feeling comfortable in your own skin, but there's also, but if you are in pain or having problems, there's nothing wrong with saying I need some help, or changes can still be good,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah. And that's a hard discussion to have with some people is you're not going to be in quite as much pain if you lose 20 pounds.
yeah.
And that's where the nutrition plan comes into play. And yeah.
Yeah, and I know cuz I've always been a chubby kid and but
Eating
it
well.
and I have friends that, and it is frustrating when you are overweight or anytime you go to a doctor. A lot of times they dismiss a lot of other pain because it's just, well, lose weight. And I get that that will help a lot of things, but sometimes there is something else going on though. It's not just that. You know what I mean? You
Yes.
get dismissed a lot as someone in a bigger body sometimes, like,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah. So, because I have
Yes.
friends that are like, I don't know why I even go to the doctor. They just tell me I'm fat and that I have anxiety. That's basically all they tell me.
Which is another thing. Okay, so I like to call those like the slapping on the band-aid approach. Okay, here's your diagnosis. There you go. And it's okay, but why do I have anxiety? Am I feeling rushed? Am I not being able to genuinely, am I not enjoying my job? Things like that. And so, like, then I come home and I eat for comfort things. Well, then something needs to change at work. Am I not, simple things like, am I not just drinking enough water or electrolytes or small changes like that? It's back to that childlike curiosity, like, why? And I would say, especially for okay, talking to the females out there that are struggling with a lot of the nutrition side of things, body image things, I will recommend Amanda White Wellness Health Coaching all day, every day. She is an angel and just knows exactly how to get to that root cause of, hey, I don't know what's going on. I have tried XYZ. I don't know how to slow down. I have a family, I have kids, I have to
Yeah.
do this and that and that. And yeah, she's phenomenal with all of that.
Is this a person, is she local, or is this like a just out in the
Yeah.
universe person?
No,
Like,
she's local.
okay.
She's actually over in T, but she does all the online
Oh, okay.
consultations
Gotcha.
and then she can kind of help orient you from there.
Gotcha. I just wasn't sure in this day and age, like if it's someone you found a podcast, you know what I mean? Like, there's all these
Oh
people
no.
that are like out in the world, but
I think she technically is like a feminine embodiment coach, like cyclical living, everything like that. And
oh,
so
interesting.
definitely very well versed in the female body.
Gotcha. Speaking of all these, what do you call it? Like expertise you can have, or ways that you can use your chiropractic knowledge. And I feel like just health in general keeps changing. Like one minute we're told this is bad for us, then we're told it's not, and blah, blah, blah. So, like, how do
Mhm.
you keep up with some of these things or stay current in what's the newest approaches, or how do you keep up with it all?
That is, oh, that, oh. There are a lot of factors that go into that. I, okay, so the best example I can give is, let's say I'm writing a fitness plan for someone. I can give them, this is going to optimize the goals you want as much as possible. But if you hate it at the end of the day, it's not going to do
Right,
anything
because
for
they're not
you.
going to do it if they hate it. So, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. And so the same thing kind of gets put into the treatment room. I'm not going to stick needles into someone if they're terrified of needles and are going to pass out. I'm not going to give this certain movement to them to do as homework if they don't have the capacity to do it at that moment. Same type of thing. So at the end of the day, like, just trying to go back to, okay, what's the bare minimum that we can do without trying to go swing on one side of the pendulum too far? That's tough because there are a lot of health controversies right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, dosage is my best example. You don't want to overdose on any one thing.
Even like supplements and vitamins or all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had a friend that after like she got COVID a couple times and she never got her taste and smell back. And so she was doing, was it acupuncture? Maybe it was dry needling. And she said it helped for a while. Is that a thing? Like, why? Like, what? Why would that help taste and smell? What's the connection there? Do you know? Or have you seen this in
If
your.
I haven't seen it yet personally, when it comes to acupuncture, I'll be honest, I don't understand the full like traditional Chinese medicine thing. And I would love to say I know exactly why that worked, but sometimes I'm just like, you know what? They knew what they were doing back in the day. I'm just following guidelines here and it worked. So great.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
honestly, there are going to be some of those times where it's like, I don't know what I did to help, but
Yeah.
great.
And even sometimes, even people, every once in a while, I'll read comments on things and it's, oh, it's probably just a
Mhm,
placebo effect, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, even if it was, at
mhm.
least it helped. Like they felt better
Exactly.
for a while. So whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, I've had a couple of those conversations with people and I'm like, at the, it worked. If it worked, it worked.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Like, moving on.
Sometimes we don't need to know all the whys and hows. We just
No.
accept it and move on. I worked for a podiatrist for a while and he treated a lot of neuropathy. And I know some chiropractors around here also treat that. Is that something you do?
If neuropathy, yes and no, in the sense of this is kind of where my free consultation comes in, and it's okay, is this a case that I can handle? If we're coming back to like diabetic neuropathy, everything like that, there are things that I can do to supplement that. If it's possibly stemming from the low back, yeah, there are a couple things I can do to supplement that. I don't know if I would 100% be able to take it away completely.
Mm-hmm.
It's not anything that I've specialized in, but if they've been through the ringer and I've tried anything and everything underneath the sun to help it out, I'd love to go in and see if there's anything that I could do differently.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like the free consultation, if what I'm doing you've done before, it isn't working, XYZ, like that there is zero obligation to come back with that. I like that's why I'm doing it is okay, let's see if I can actually help you out here.
Yeah. My sister-in-law had breast cancer, and she's been in remission now. Like, she's fine now, but she still can't totally feel her fingers and toes and stuff. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
from the chemo and stuff. So it is just one of those
Yeah.
things a lot of people struggle with that I didn't realize how common it actually was.
Oh yeah, a lot of those there can be 2 to 3 different providers that can all be doing something kind of different, but getting to the same end result. And as long as they're in communication with each other, I would say, or at least hopefully a patient is disclosing all information, then you can work pretty well within each other's realms, but still optimizing the results. There have been cases where I'm calling another provider and being like, "Hey, what'd you do for this person? I just want to make sure we're on the same page and
Right.
we're both trying to help this person out."
That's kind of nice to hear that, because a lot of times I had a bunch of health issues around when I was 25-ish, and I was being shuttled around all these different specialists, and there's a part of you that, can you just call the other guy? I can't explain everything. I don't.
I know. Okay, and like the other thing too is that's one perk of being a solo provider in my office is I see and hear everything that comes through the door, and so I'm able to communicate with other people as to what's going on.
Hmm. I've seen some chiropractor offices set up where it's literally like four tables in the middle of a big room, and they just kind of like go down the line. I don't know if I'd like that. I think I'd want a little more privacy. What is your setup? I just feel like that's so open, and I don't know.
Yeah.
And I get that it is faster, but I don't know if that's my vibe.
I like to say I'm a little bit of a snail.
I would appreciate that though. Like, I want to feel like I'm the only one you care about. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, so my office is actually just one room, and I mean, each treatment session is about 45 minutes to an hour, just depending on how much we're talking. And that is all one-on-one care. I mean, there's a little bit of music going in the background. But I mean, windows are open, so kind of uplifting the mood a little bit with that. And yeah, I would say just being able to be in one bigger room together has really helped me develop connections with each and every patient. I would not change that for the world. I feel like I'm just their little cheerleader, cheering them on throughout life events. And I'll get text messages and stuff like, "Oh, yeah, remember, like, I brought this up that I was going to go do this and I completed it." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, yes." And yeah, it's just really fun being able to establish that relationship.
How does chiropractic care support long term health? Especially kind of going back to people that are skeptical about it. Because I have some friends that swear by their chiropractor. They're like, I go every week or every other week. And then, I know people too that are like, meh. So, but how can it
Yeah.
contribute? Obviously, hopefully less pain, but are there other long term effects?
Yeah, I would say the at the root of it, the reintroduction of the adjustment is keeping the body, okay, this is a healthy range of motion. We're not going to get stuck and stiff. For people like me, I mean, you're getting these tools like how to actually breathe and brace your core while lifting, which I will say there has been one person that has walked into my office that actually knew what that meant, and just being able to take that down the rest of your lifetime, or like my rule of foundational sevens. Like 7 days a week, you're going to get 7 hours of sleep, 7,000 steps a day, and 7 cups of water. It's just these basic concepts that you can take with you and really excel your life later
That's
on.
actually really easy to remember too, and doesn't seem 7 cups of water seems kind of like a lot. Saying it like that instead of so many ounces or something. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you hear
Yes.
like just 777. I kind of like
Yes,
that.
exactly. I know it used to be the thing of like 10,000 steps a day, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, this is going back to the research side of things. After 7,000 steps, it kind of plateaus and you're not going to really see that drastic of a difference. So,
And I suppose for some
and
people, if before they were only getting 2 or 3,000, at least they're doing more. You know, just any kind of
yes.
movement is good. It's better than
Oh,
rotting on the couch, which I do like to do that too.
yeah. A lot of it is meeting you where you're at and trying to help you slowly take steps towards, okay, this is how we can most optimally live.
hmm You're a runner, right? Training for something.
Well, yeah, I'm actually going to be doing a half marathon with a friend and then a marathon in September.
Not that I'm a runner, but I hear that the running is really hard on a body. So as someone that knows all of this, I'm assuming, are there precautions you take, or who, you being the chiropractor, who treats you then? Or if you have aches and pains, like how does that work, you know?
Yeah, when it comes to the running realm, I know, yeah, runners are known for all the injuries and everything like that. I think a lot of that comes down to not moving differently. You get stuck in only running and you forget the lifting, you forget the side to side movements because I mean, with running, you're just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Kind of like a pitcher in baseball. I
hmm
mean, they just pitch, and then their arm is
The repetitive
torched for.
motion injuries, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, and I was a bowler. I still bowl, but growing up, you know, I was on league. I was on like 2 or 3 teams at a time. My left knee
Hmm.
still hurts. You know what I mean? From the, because it's
Really?
like my plant leg. Started wearing a brace at the gym, and mostly it's because I'm afraid I'm gonna hurt it more, and I don't want to hurt it more. You know what I mean? So
I think you know a chiropractor that could help you out with that.
it feels okay today. It's but it's funny when I tell people, "Oh, I think I heard it bowling." Some people like laugh, but it's just like a
No.
pitcher or something. It's the same movement over and over. So
Yes. And when it comes to who I'm gonna see, I I'm trying to think of, okay, I actually haven't. There have been a couple times where I've hurt bad enough where I went and saw someone else in the area. One of them was I just slept stupid in a van driving back from Omaha. And then another one was I was just being dumb with a kettlebell and throwing it around. And I was like, oh no, here we go. With those, I just sought out a couple treatments from one of the local chiropractors, kind of told him what's going on. And then from there, no one else really does the rehab side of things. So I just rehabbed myself essentially. Outside of that, when it comes to a lot more of the running specific injuries, I reach out to my colleagues that I went to school with, and there's some in Alabama, still in Missouri, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Ohio, all over.
hmm
And just trying to help suss out what it could be. I would say they treat the most like I do. I know of a couple people, other people within the state, but I'm just not that close with them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear that. Is it hard sometimes to practice what you preach? Like you were saying, you know, you were messing around with the kettlebell. You're like, I knew not to do that, but I did it anyway. I even sometimes, if I run into a friend at the grocery store, I'm like, don't look at my cart. I don't know. I do. But, you know, especially if you have like nutrition plans and you run into a patient, but you have like Oreos in your cart. But everybody deserves a
Yes.
sweet treat once in a while. It's okay. But do
Yes.
you find it hard to always kind of live up to what you're telling other people to do?
Yes, 100%. Especially, yeah. I would say running is probably my biggest downfall, just with how competitive I was during schooling and understanding that my stress levels then were not as much as they are now, just different types of stresses. I still think that I can go out and run 20 plus miles without any downfall to it. And it's no, I still have to come back and come back to life. Like, it's just like one of those things where I think getting over the reminiscing and wishing I was who I was then
Mm-hmm.
is the biggest factor. And then, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes a nice chip and dip is not bad.
No, I get it.
So, at the end of the day, like balancing it out, I think it also helps in the empathetic side of things. I can understand why this may be difficult for you because I've struggled with myself, or I have my own thing that I'm
Mm-hmm.
struggling with. And being able to connect that way, I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal here. I'm exactly like anyone else,
Yeah.
just a little bit, probably just a little bit younger and dumber. Sometimes.
Yeah, just as you get older too,
Hmm.
things are harder. Or who was I talking to? Like bouncing back from a couple. Now you have a couple drinks and you still wake up with a headache. Whereas, in my 20s, 2 drinks would be nothing. So
Yes.
but
Yes.
that's kind of a bad example. But yes, just as you get older, you can't do all the things that you could do before as easy. So
Yeah. And I think just so much grace and patience with yourself, which gets preached and preached in the office. They're like, I missed today doing, and I'm like, I don't care. You did it 5 other days. Like, you're
yeah.
okay. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
We're our own
oh,
worst enemy for sure. We're always kind of looking at the
yes.
negatives. Okay, so on Talking with Tasha, the core of my life, like what I like the most is like pop culture-y kind of stuff. So is there something you've been binge watching, or a book you've been reading, or a podcast you like, or something that you've been really into lately that you'd like to recommend or tell everybody about?
Tasha, I live underneath a rock. Like, in all honesty. Oh, man. I'm trying to even think. Well, I got shown today. Apparently, Donald Trump posted a photo of
As the
himself on
Pope.
Instagram as the Pope. Yes. What? And then someone commented, like, sometimes you make it hard for me to support you. Like,
He makes it really hard for some of us to support him.
it's, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no. And at
I don't
first,
know.
I saw that this morning too. Like when I woke up, it was one of the first things in my feed because someone was like critiquing it, like you were saying. And I was like, is this real? Because with all the AI, I mean, the picture itself was definitely like AI. But then I was like, did someone
Mhm.
Photoshop this picture to make it look like Donald Trump posted it? And then it's, nope,
I
it is
know.
real. Like it was 100% real. And I was like,
Is,
am I still
why?
sleeping? Was this a dream? Like, I don't But anyway,
Oh man.
yeah, I don't know.
I'm tr- I'm trying to even think of any other pop culture things I'm a part of. I need to like hop onto
You're
Instagram
like,
or
wait a
something
second, who
and
do I
look
follow?
at,
What do I like?
yes.
Isn't that weird though? How when someone asks you like, what's your hobby, you all of a sudden forget anything you like in your life?
Yes. Eating.
Yeah, exactly. I'm single. I think you are too. I don't know for sure, but
No, I'm actually not.
oh, okay. Well, just dating. People are like, oh, so what do you like to do for fun? And I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't know. Do I do anything? I don't know. Just all of a sudden we forget everything we like. I don't know why we're like that, but
Basically a plant. I like to breathe and drink water and
right.
sit in the sun.
I always say I am a complicated plant though, because the minute the sun starts staying out later, I like become a new person. It's like,
I
yeah,
know. No, seriously though. I'm so excited for the Levitt and all the
yeah.
farmers markets and
hmm
oh,
Well, and
I miss
especially
it.
as that is one thing talking about getting older. Obviously, when I was younger, it being dark earlier, you still notice it and stuff, but I don't feel like it really
Mhm.
affected me. But the last few years in the fall when it starts to get dark, it hit me so much harder the last few years. I don't know, something about it just all of a sudden I was like, I don't want to do anything. I don't. Seasonal depression is a thing, you know.
Oh, it
But
is.
it didn't really
100%.
it didn't really super affect me until the last 3-4 years, I'd say. You know what I mean? I really had to, I bought one of
Yeah.
those sun lamp things. Like,
did you like it?
I do. Again, I think it helps ish. It might be the placebo thing again, but it's also just a nice light to have for, I mean, I don't do my makeup a lot, but like it is a good light for just lighting if you need to take a good picture or like do your makeup.
It's all about the selfie.
Yeah. Well, and some people say with those lights, they use them in the morning when they get ready, but I like to put it just like on my side table by my couch. So then when I come home, I can pretend the sun's still out and just have it by my couch. You know what I mean? Like,
yes. Although if you listen to Andrew Huberman, he's going to say, no, to that, and lights down, everything.
Well, I don't leave it on super late, but at least past 5, 6 o'clock, you know, like I want to still, I hate when it starts getting dark that early. Anyway.
On the bright side, it does help going to bed earlier.
I guess, but I don't know. I'd still rather.
I know. Hug the sun.
Yeah. But no, that's fine if you're not into a big show or anything right now. That's totally fine. But I just thought I'd throw it out there. Well, is there anything you that I didn't ask you that you were just biting at just really wanted something to say out there?
Oh, well, okay, not like a question per se, but females out there having a close network of providers that you can lean on that also communicate within themselves, because there is a lot of information getting thrown out there right now in the women's health realm. And so just finding your unique handful of people that you can rely on that are also good with working within each other.
Do you want to let everybody know your website, where to find you on Instagram, all the social medias? If you have any events coming up, self-promote here. Tell everybody how to find you.
I'm really bad at this. I'm like, here's my phone number. That's it. Just call me. So website is resilience-chiropractic.com. Do I need to spell that out?
I'll have it linked probably as well. You know, like I'll tag you and stuff when I post it. So probably don't need to spell it.
Okay. And then Instagram is at dr.payton_resilience. And then YouTube is just all of my exercise recordings for my patients. Good luck trying to figure out one that works for you, I guess. Although I am thinking about starting to talk a little bit more on their face forward.
Yeah.
Scary. But that's just Resilience Chiropractic and Rehab. And I think I have all of the social media platforms, but I really only use Instagram and Facebook, and Facebook's just Resilience Chiropractic and Rehab. Nothing too crazy.
Do you have any events coming up, or are you, any, I don't know, health fairs or anything?
Actually, I am in the works right now on hosting a couple of gym workshops, and then also doing a few talks on faith and fitness and how to incorporate those two into one, because a lot of times it gets separated into two things, and like fitness is egotistical and all about you, blah, blah, blah. Well, there's a side that you can do for the faith. And then trying to think of any other events. Oh, part of Balanced Women's Wellness Group. We are meeting on the 28th at 6 p.m. at Farm Field Soccer Fields.
Oh, okay.
Right off of Yankton Trail. And with that, gonna have actually Amanda White, the cyclical living gal. She's going to be talking there, and there will be some fun little crafty things that we can do too. She is phenomenal and a wizard with all this creativity thing, naturally so, being feminine embodiment coach. But yeah, that will be that Wednesday night at 6 p.m. And I think that's about it. I'm gonna be kind of MIA for the first couple months of summer, just doing a couple seminars, going on a family vacation, and trying to figure my own life out.
Well, but that is part of it too. Like, I think just as people, a lot of times we show up for everybody else, but you can't do that if you're not taking care of yourself either. So you got to do some of those things for sure.
Yes, you know very much so how much I struggled with that.
Boundaries.
What are boundaries? No boundaries. Isn't there a clothing brand called that?
What'd you say that? Oh, yeah, there is a clothing brand
Target or
called No
something?
Boundaries. I think you're right. Oh, that's funny.
I started it. I have one question for you.
Okay, what? I'm scared.
What did you take away from this?
I kind of learned a little more what dry needling is, so that's helpful. I do think your approach is definitely different from what I've seen other chiropractors do. Even the fact that it's one-on-one, because I've literally been in a chiropractor's office where it was just like boom, 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 boom. How are you even keeping track of how they're feeling? Some of that stuff I don't get.
Just a battle through the chute.
Yeah. And I do think chiropractors get a bad rap in some regard, but I think you seem to have the lane that you're in that you like, and you're not trying to, fix X, Y, and Z because you can't. Or even when you said like with the neuropathy, I'll try, but if it's not working, we're going to do something else. Because I feel like some chiropractors are like, no, I'm the one. I will do everything.
The magical hands.
Yeah, and sometimes you need something else or to try a different approach or whatever. So I do like that you do that. And it's part of the reason, like I said, I have some friends that swear by chiropractors and I don't really go to one, but part of it's too is it's just another appointment and another thing I have to remember and another, you know what I mean?
I know, it's tough.
It's just a lot to fit in as well. But if this knee keeps getting worse, I suppose I should probably do something about it.
Yeah, you should come in and schedule that free consultation. Seriously.
I do enjoy a free consultation because what's the harm in that?
Exactly. My goal with that is, okay, even if an exercise doesn't work or I'm not the right fit, I just hope you learned something about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess another question. Do you take insurance or are you all cash based or how do you do all that?
I am all cash based. I do super bills for insurance. I do HSA, FSA, check, card, cash, all that. But I don't deal with them directly. For me personally, it's just the time consumption behind it. So I don't want to let that take away from the individualized care that I can give each person and trying to figure out, okay, how can I manipulate this to work with the insurance codes? Well, they say I should do this, but this is actually what's going on and things like that. So I don't touch them personally, but I have zero problem writing a super bill.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, insurances can be so dumb. A doctor can say, you need this, and they're like, no, I don't think you do.
Yes. And I'm kind of sitting there, okay, then you come into the office and you do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's definitely pros and cons to a lot more places are going to cash only. And I see pros and as a consumer, I'm like, well, I don't know if I can afford it then. But at the same time, if you need the care, you need the care, so it's kind of like.
Yeah. And I think that kind of ties into the whole, just trying to find the right fit for you where you can go to this person with multiple complaints. And if they're not able to figure it out, you can trust that, they can direct me exactly to who I need to talk to.
Like you say, if I can't help you, I'll try to find someone that can or refer you to this person. Or I like hearing that because, again, if I go in to see a doctor of any kind that was like, I know everything. No, you don't. You know what I mean? Yes. Like a little humility goes a long way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I want to thank Dr. Payton Birkel for being a great guest on this episode of Talkin' with Tasha. Sorry that one ended a little weird, but we did talk quite a bit actually after that, but it's just wasn't for the show, Anyway. I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Dr. Payton Birkel. Like I said, thank you so much for listening for 2 years. Did you guys know the very first episode of Talkin' with Tasha was on May 8th, 2023? We've been doing this for 2 years, y'all. Thanks for coming along with me. We're having a great time. And you'd think in 2 years I would have a better outro or a more organized outro, but yet here I am still scrambling. What am I supposed to say? You can listen to Talkin' with Tasha on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Pandora, and talkinwithtasha.com. I am on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, YouTube, all the things. It's all linked at talkinwithtasha.com. You can email me comments, questions, concerns, talkinwithtashapod@gmail.com. You also make sure you rate, review, subscribe, comment, like, and share. All those things help the podcast, and they help a sister out. And I'm on Fiverr and Cameo if you need a personal message or a voiceover work done. I'm also available for bingo fundraisers or, just hosting different events like the author talk I did with the library. That was really fun. If you need something like that, I'm available. I think that's it. So without further ado, be safe, make good choices, wash your hands, just try to be a good person, stay hydrated, and peace out, Brussels sprout. Bye.